Here's the big question.
How are agents like us,
who didn't get an opportunity to invest in a franchise early,
who are spending time and money to sell homes,
building someone else's saleable asset?
How do we grow a business but still build wealth?
Have an exit strategy,
and get a piece of the pie that's not dependent
on us working more hours and every weekend?
That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer.
My name is Jay Kinder.
My name is alstasek.
And I'm Michael Reese. We are your hosts, and welcome to the One Big Fire Podcast.
Yeah, dude, I was getting pumped.
Yeah, man. I'm always bummed when that music stops.
I know.
I want to keep it rocking. What's up, brother?
How are you, man? Just happy to be here, Mr. Stasek.
I'm happy to have you on, man. We have such a cool history, and I can't wait to dig into it. But one of the coolest things over the last few years that for me personally, that I've been able to watch is you grow your organization. And I'm not talking about, just the last couple of years. I'm talking all the way back to 2010 when you and I first met. I know that I've always been looking for a better way. You and I didn't even know each other. And what's so cool is you were just 2 hours away from me growing your business down in Columbus, Ohio. I was up here in Cleveland, Ohio, and we met in Dallas, Texas, of all places. Yeah. And the story's cool. I want you to tell it, and then I want to dig into, for our audience that's trying to figure out, how did this guy from Columbus, Ohio take his team from 28 million, which, by the way, is a lot. That's nothing to shake a stick at. 28 million's rocking it. But you just went ahead and poured some gasoline on that, taking it to this year, you're going to close $100 million in volume. It's amazing. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Ryan Ruehle, Columbus House team.
Brother, excited to be here. Well, we text and we chat and using C-Bus, I think, over the weekend. And anytime I get to see Mr. Stasek is a good day. So I appreciate you having me, brother.
No, man, I'm excited. So
our story,
2010, baby.
Yeah, our story is a really good one. And what I find, Al, is that so many like-minded people go through these journeys, and we were going through our own individual journey, but having the exact same kind of path, right? I was looking for a better way to do things. I was looking for a way to scale my business, a way to make my business predictable, put systems in place, processes. I found a gentleman by the name of Jay Kinder. And I found Jay and Mike Reese but I knew Jay a little bit from before he started his coaching company as just this cocky dude that was killing it, right? And I don't mean doing well, I mean killing it. When I met Jay, I think he was 500-600 transactions, number 2 in the world in Caldwell Banker. So when I knew he was starting a coaching company, I had to come and find him. Yes.
You talking about this guy right here?
Yep. That's the first time I met Mr. Stasek and Mr. Kinder. So, yeah, I mean, the same thing that brought you there was bringing me there, right? I knew that Jay and Mike had figured something out, and I was looking for a better way to be able to make my business predictable, scalable, and really just a better way of life, right? As you always say, kind of living a life by design. That's what I wanted, and I didn't have that, right? My business was controlling my life, and it wasn't the opposite. So, that's really what I wanted, is to build a business around my life, and not my life around the business.
So in 2010, take us back there a little bit. Where was your business at that time? Who were you, who was your license with? What were you doing? A ballpark, like what was your production like in 2010?
Oh, Lord. 2010, honestly, we probably maybe 12 million. I think there was 4 of us at the time. I was with Keller Williams, and really just struggling, trying to figure out nothing consistent, throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall and seeing what stuck. Just like yourself, I was always someone who's going to, bet on me, and I was a hustler. So I was going to figure out a way. So, when I met Jay and he told me, hey, come out here, we're having this coaching conference. I didn't even know how I was going to pay for the conference. My story gets better if you bring in Wally and one credit card that I had with a little bit of money available on it. But I got my butt out there because I knew, sometimes you just know, right, when you meet people. So I knew that this was something that I had to do, even though I didn't know for sure how I was going to pay for it or how I was going to make it happen. I just knew I needed a coach and I needed to be a part of what they were doing, building. And that's, I don't know exactly how you made your way out there, how you first met them. But you made your way out there too. And it was two boys from the OH. And like you said, we were just a couple hours apart, but flew, all the way over there to Texas to meet each other and to figure out how to fix our business. My business, I don't even know that I knew it was broken. I just knew that I didn't know what I was doing, right? I didn't have a true business. I was working very hard to just try to figure out a way. So
I want to extract the principles as you move along, because you're dropping some gold nuggets but for people that are listening right now. If you like what you're hearing and you can't wait to hear hit the subscribe button. If you're listening on YouTube, share this with someone that you think that might need to hear it, because here's the thing. We all go down the same struggle as far as the journey. Our journey comes across this very similar struggles. That's why coaching works, because usually if you have the right coach or mentor, they've already been down that path. So hopefully, if you're a learner and a grower, you'll be able to, basically cut the timeline and go from point A to point B a lot faster than the mentor had to, which means they had to guess, like you were saying, throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah. What brought me out there in the principle that I guess I want to get at is investing in ourselves. I think we both came out of 2009, bumped, bruised, beaten up, I was in debt because I blew through all my savings. I could have very easily filed bankruptcy at that time, but my ego and stubbornness wouldn't allow me to do it. I just kept running on the treadmill. Then I, very similar to you, met Jay Kinder, and I figured a way out of getting out to that conference with whatever's left on the credit card, just like you. Yeah. And then we met, which was really cool.
Yeah, I was just hoping nobody was going to be really big drinkers, because I didn't have any room in my credit card for any of that.
Yeah, right.
But I knew, just like you said, I knew I needed a coach. I knew there was a better way. And it's amazing when you get like-minded people, because to be honest, Albie, what really set me at ease is I had all of these issues and everything going on here in Columbus, Ohio. When I met all of you guys and we got in a room and realized I wasn't just the only one, I actually felt better about my situation, that other people were struggling with these problems too. And that I wasn't alone in this, and other people are trying to figure out this too. How do we make our business predictable? How can we literally set, which, I do now, what's our goals and how are we going to get there? And we reverse engineer all of the numbers, right? Because if you understand real estate and sales, you understand it is a numbers game. So, you build your pipelines and your pillars of business, and then you just really hone in and get very focused and committed to the process. And that's what I learned by being in those rooms with just, amazing, some of my best friends, right? From Kinder to yourself, to Gadosh, to Mike Odo, to Jim Cady, phenomenal people that I met just through that process in that group. Changed my life, literally.
I was literally just talking with somebody, and I can't remember who it was. Might have been on our podcast here, and we were talking about the dark days. The days that, for me, it was the year 2008 when the crash started to happen. The real estate business started imploding. Had some personal stuff going on too. Not to mention, my dad had quadruple bypass surgery, so there was a lot of just negative energy pushing on me, and what I said is, oh yeah, we want to forget about those days. And whoever I was talking to, I can't remember if it was Kyle Whistle, somebody was like, no, we don't want to forget those days. We want to remember those days. In fact, I know who it was. It was a recruit that we were bringing aboard out of Georgia. He's like, no, you don't want to forget those days. You don't want to relive them. Right. But you want to remember the lessons that you extract from them, because you never want to go back. Right.
Yeah, great way of saying it.
Yeah. And so it's those battle scars, and we grow from them. And no, we don't want to ever relive those again, but we've learned a lot from them. Let's move forward a little bit. So, at the time frame that you're talking about, we both were paying lots of money for coaching. It was well worth it. I didn't look at it as a money that was really coming out of my pocket where I was just spending money. It was definitely an investment. What has happened between now and then? Because then, I think they actually, Mike and Jay like to joke around and be like, yeah, you paid us over $100,000 in coaching fees and stuff like this throughout the years. But I can tell you that investment has paid me 10X. You know what I mean? Now,
100%.
Now, kind of explain over the last 3 years, you brought your team. You had about, I don't know, 9 agents or so. You're sitting at over 30 agents now. You were doing about 28 million in volume 3 years ago. 3 years later, that's over $100 million. You 3x'd it, which is, it's just a huge thing. But the one thing that is missing is you're not paying big coaching fees anymore, right? Tell us 100%. A little bit about, what's changed. How is it that you're still being able to grow without paying all these coaching fees out of your pocket, but yet still connected, maybe better than ever?
I think the best way you said it there, connected better than ever. What we always did before, right? And we would talk about this all the time, sometimes over a few too many cocktails when we're out there, but we would always talk about, and I can remember conversations with you of, Al, how do we go home and figure out a way to continue this, this energy and what is possible if we could unite, we have it right on the screen here, right? One big fire. And we've talked about that in our coaching forever of just all these great people, in our minds of these high producing individuals and just these amazing people is how can we really get the synergy together and really grow something outside of these rooms? We would lock ourselves in and try to figure out problems or the solutions to our problems, right? And, when you called me a couple times, but, a little over 3 years ago, I started to see the light of how that was possible. And how, like I said, I would pay, if I would go back and obviously know what I know now, I would have paid double for mastermind and coaching. Because it added that much, it's people got to understand when there's that much value, you never look at price, right? If you're going to sell me your McLaren today for 20 grand, let's go do it, right? I'm not thinking twice. There was so much value in what we were getting from our mastermind group and our coaching that you're right, we didn't think about. I never, I think at one point it was, I don't know, $3 grand a month or whatever it was. And I never thought about it. I probably complained more about my mortgage at the time than I did my coaching, because it was that important to my business and where I was going. So, fast forward to the opportunity that you got me to see and sit down and actually look at and understand. And, how could we really build an alignment so powerful that when you're doing great, I'm doing great, the company's doing great. And not only that, but it solved the issue that so many of us team leads have, right? Is how do we build all these great people that we want to build them up and then they want to leave the nest, right? And then what do? Then we got to go figure out, start from square one. So that was always my biggest struggle in growing big or scaling is, hey, I'm taking so much time, energy, and effort. And yeah, these are rock stars and I don't want them to have a glass ceiling. I want them to keep being able to achieve and get to where they want to get to, but there was no alignment for me to keep them around, right? And that was such a difficult part of this business that I struggled with for a long time because I didn't know how to fix it. I knew these are great people, and I either had to, tell them something, that wasn't true of, hey, you need to be on my team, because some of them didn't, right? They got to a place where they could graduate from, the CHT university, we call it here. But, this opportunity solved that problem for me. And that's how I've been able to go in 3 years from 9 to 31 and 28 million to over 100 million.
That's amazing. And I think I want to unpack one thing. And that is, when we talk about the platform that we decided to move on to together, we racked our brains for years trying to figure how can we, you had said it, and it's not our words, but Jay Kinder in 2015 in Aspen Mastermind, we're sitting there. He had our attention when he said, how could we put all of our fires together and make one big fire?
Yeah.
That was just a question. that nobody in the room really had the answer to, but it was the right question. Yeah. How can we all work together? Now, we all have separate brands. One of the reasons why we were beating our head against it was I wanted to work with you. You wanted to work with me, but the Columbus house team, Stasek Group up in Cleveland, Columbus house team down in Columbus, Andrew Gadosh and Associates down in Dayton, and the list goes on and on. Carlos German, we all of our brothers and sisters that were part of this mastermind. We all wanted to work together and combine those fires into one big fire. We needed a platform that would allow us to do it. Notice, you might be on this podcast or you might be watching this on YouTube or Facebook. It might be saying, "Oh, it's another EXP vid." No, we're not mentioning the stock and the revenue share and all the things that people are excited about this company, because the most important thing one of the biggest reasons that took Ryan from a point where he was already a great leader with good people, really great people actually. And what's the difference over the last 3 years? It was the financial alignment that this platform has allowed us to plug into. Yeah. It's sticky. When one person wins, everybody wins, and it's created that. Yes, there's people that could care less about the stock. They could care less about the revenue share, although those are really, really big, significant things that are changing people's lives, making them millionaires. They never thought they'd be a millionaire. Yep. But not that. It's the environment that's created by those two things. And I think that's the biggest thing when people are looking at EXP saying, it's all about this, it's all about that. It's about this magic, this synergy that's been created. Right. That it's hard to describe, but I'd love for you to try to just describe what it's meant to you, maybe even some of your agents, because that's really the most important thing too, is that what kind of an impact does it have on an agent who's looking to grow their business from maybe 5 to 10 or 10 to 20 or 20 to 50 transactions? What would you say to that person and what they could expect based upon your experience?
I think the number one thing that people have to understand and move through life, and like I said, for me, being around that group and those individuals and understanding they were in some phenomenal places already in their life. But the one thing I always realized from all of them is they were open-minded, right? They never had the mindset of, I know it all. It's my way or the highway. This is the best way to do it. It was always an open-minded. So I've gone through life with that of, let's be open-minded to see the opportunities. And this business model, it really is what it is the business model changed the game. I know for yourself, for me, for a lot of people, and what it was before, Albie, which was a problem for teams, is what happened in your team, my team, a lot of teams, when you grew or brought on agents or all these things. Who made more money? A lot of my top agents did. And I did well as well. But for me, the top agents, your top agents, if you pour your heart and soul into someone as a leader and help them grow, a lot of times they're your biggest risk in leaving, because it's something that you and I did. We left the nest at one point because we're entrepreneurs and we're, like you said it earlier, you're going to bet on yourself, right? Yeah. For sure. And not everybody's going to have the ambition to take their business to, $100 million, which is really, really unbelievable to do. It's difficult to do. So kudos to you, man. But I appreciate that. But the people that come up with us, I think you nailed it, because they had nowhere to go. You said you had to lie to them and said that they needed to stay there. I think that being an incubator of success, your team, that incubator of success in the local northern Columbus market, mine in Northeast Ohio, is a great place for someone to start, grow their career. If they're struggling, plug into it, and then know that there's another level out there if they want to take their business to that. And the cool thing is we can help them get there. Yeah, and that's the game changer. Like I said, it was before, there wasn't so much of, my agents might have a great co-op or meet somebody, right? But they weren't super, excited about having them maybe join the team or meet me, to where now those relationships, because of the business model, and the way that we're compensated, I'm having those conversations where agents just call me, Ryan, you got to meet with, had a great co-op. This person's a rock star. Because before, if we brought on a bunch of rock stars, it was probably putting just more money in Ryan's pocket. It probably, wasn't. Now we were having great culture and we love working with people that, we call family. But now it is a true alignment of, our culture, our compensation, our values, all of these things. And that's really what's brought us. Like I said, I'm not, when people look at me and talk, I'm not a huge recruiter. It's not my skill set, and it's really not my core competence of what I enjoy. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy being that leader, seeing somebody come in who's struggling or brand new and seeing their life change, right? I bring them out on my boat and we spend a weekend and we talk about, hey, what do you want the lifestyle to be, right? I knew very early that I didn't want to work nights and weekends. So I designed a business that allowed that to happen for me. And that's what, we here, me and John, we have a great team, Ashley, our admin, and, we're really able to put that in place for people and say, hey, let's not just talk about money. Let's talk about lifestyle. Let's talk about freedom. Let's talk about time, right? As well as I do that you would give up a lot of money for time because you know how valuable time is. And, that's kind of, where I'm at in my business now. And, this business model and yourself and all the help. And like I said, still getting the coaching and having these opportunities, that's what it's done for me. And like I said, in 3 years, pretty amazing.
I think that the other thing, and I know you're being humble, but the another one of your strengths is the culture that you've been able to develop over the years. I mean, even going back to when you only had a couple agents, you've always had that sticky, strong culture that that everyone just seems to be happy to be there. That's why I love coming down. I would, whether it's going to a Buckeyes game with you and you got your entire crew there, having fun, watching Buckeyes or whatever it is, during the summer, hitting that lake.
Yeah.
You've got a really great core group of people that you've been able to, develop, and, recruiting is given a bad name, but it's okay. It's okay.
Sure.
You do it through not proactively chasing people down. You're recruiting through attraction. You invite somebody over to one of your events. They want to be part of that group because it's a great group of people, and it's based upon the same, core principles and values that you've grown your business and life off of. And it's good ones, and it's fun. And so it's been a blessing. I appreciate being a part of it. It's been great.
No, thank you, man. Like I said, you've become a brother from another mother. Definitely. I just appreciate the fact that, you guys all care. We did before. It's not that we, just got together for weekends and didn't care. But like I said, the way we're able now to align so many things is what's powerful. And that's what I tell my agents when they come on, because the culture is so important. I mean, one of our main, statements around here is if we're not having fun doing it, we're probably not going to do it. We want to have fun, and it just makes everything come to the office. I know we got our ping pong table. We're bringing in some other stuff so they can come in. We're going to put a little keg in here for some Fridays and some happy hours. But, if you're not having fun doing it, what's the point, right? We spend a lot of time and a lot of part of our lives working. So let's do something that we love to do and let's have fun doing it. And that's a big part of our culture. And as the laws of attraction are what they are. If you're a crappy dude, you're probably going to attract crappy people. If you're a great guy with just, that great heart, you're going to attract great people. And I've been blessed to have great people around me. And then they've brought on, other great people to our tribe and our family. So it's been an amazing ride. I'm excited to see where you're going to be 5 years from now. I want to be on the plane wherever that jet's going, but I'm excited.
Well, it's going to Puerto Rico, baby.
Yeah.
So, hey, if you're someone watching this and you're curious, what Ryan's an open book. He's a giver. Reach out to Ryan, connect with him on Facebook, Ryan Ruehle. Ryan, what's another way that they could reach out to you?
onebigfireohio.com, baby.
Oh, nice. onebigfireohio.com. I'm going to put that into the comments. One Big Fire Ohio. I love it.
Yes, sir.
.com.
It's all about alignment.
hit him up. That links if on Facebook. We'll also put it into the comments on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button if you like the content that you're hearing today, and if you're interested in learning more about Ryan Ruehle and how he grew his team and from 8 agents to he's going to do over $100 million, and he's not running around on listing appointments anymore. He's got his staff that's really his business works harder for him than he works for it. And if that's something that you'd be interested in growing your real estate business, reach out to Ryan. He'd love to have it. Whether you're in Ohio, if you're in Ohio, meet up, have a beer or coffee with him. If you're not in Ohio, just reach out to him online, and I'm sure he'd be willing to help you. So thanks for having us.
Brother.
Thanks for coming on today. Can't wait for our next event down there in Columbus.
Yes, sir.
And, appreciate you.
Yeah, as always, appreciate you, Albie.
All right, everybody.
All right, brother.
I'll see you at the top or from the top. Have a great one.
You too, brother.